This is a true story about when I was 12 and my family and I moved into a new house. We all loved it, except it had a room that we liked to call the dungeon. An extremely tiny room in the basement that could be padlocked from the outside with no light inside. I even recall finding an old little toy car in the corner of the room. The house didn't feel right. The property had a chained link fence all along the side with barbed wire on top. I later found out this was an old foster home, but even now I have never really looked into the history of the house. I'm still afraid of what I could find. After renovating the house, it did feel more homey. We got rid of the dungeon and turned it into a computer room beside my bedroom. I was also the only one who slept in the basement of the house. All the other bedrooms were upstairs. This is where I shall begin telling you the events that took place. I had a paranoia about doors. My closet doors had to be closed on both sides, otherwise it felt like something was staring at me through the cracks. And my bedroom door had to be wide open, so the hallway light could shine in because I couldn't sleep in the dark, and I also felt trapped if the door was closed. For several weeks, nothing happened. Then, weird things started happening. I would start waking up in the mornings to find my closet doors wide open. Then I started waking up to my door closed. I started questioning everyone to see if they were pranking me, but they all said they had nothing to do with it. This kept happening and I just ignored it. I started to sleep with my door closed and slept with a small light in the room. After a while, I would start hearing voices. One night, two ladies were having a conversation and laughing outside my bedroom door. Another night, I could hear a man yelling at someone. Every time I heard something, I'd leave my room to investigate to see if the TV had gotten left on, only to find out it was off. I would then walk back to my room with the conclusion that I must have just been half asleep and dreaming. These things continued, and I felt like I was going crazy. Then one night, after showering and walking into my room, I saw a small blonde boy sitting on my bed in the split second before I turned my light on. I knew what I saw, and it wasn't my mind just playing tricks. I got dressed and made a bed on the couch upstairs. I was too afraid to sleep in my room. While facing the window and slowly losing consciousness, I saw a little brunette girl, no more than 5 years old, crying and staring back at me through the reflection. I screamed and looked above my head, where she would have been standing, and saw no one. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't sleep for many nights after that. The images haunting me. The next following years, I grew numb to the doors closing by themselves and the knocks on the walls and the voices. It was the new normal. I told my mom the things that would happen, and she's just rolled her eyes and say I was just playing around. When I turned 19 and could start drinking, I drank every night. It helped me sleep and ignore the sounds. When I didn't react to anything that was happening anymore, when it saw I wasn't afraid, things got worse. One night, while sitting on my bed, A water bottle flew off my desk across the room and hit the wall. Then loud thumping on the wall behind me started. Silence. Then a blood-curdling scream erupted. I ran upstairs on the brink of tears, asking if anyone had heard the scream. They all shook their heads. My mom comforted me, and I slept with her for a week after that. By this time, my mum believed me, but with some hesitance. For weeks after, I would sometimes hear whimpering. It was always very faint though. Then, September 6th of 2012 came. The night that gave me evidence of it. I had a glass of rum and coke before bed. This was normal. It helped me sleep. I brushed my teeth and glanced at the clock. 12:02 a.m. I fell asleep. I woke up, all groggy, and my body aching. I looked at the clock, and it was 2:12 a.m. My bed felt wet and sticky, and my shoulder felt extremely weird. I rubbed my shoulder with my other hand, only to stick my fingers in a gaping hole. I jumped out of bed and turned on the light to look in the mirror. I started crying. While looking at the tear in my shoulder 2 inches deep, I turned around and saw my bed was soaked with blood. My mom drove me to the ER and I got stitches. My mom thought I was self-harming and looked everywhere for something sharp in my room or bathroom and found nothing. Then thought I sleepwalked and fell into something, only to find no blood anywhere else in the house. That's when I saw on her face that she believed me about everything. I moved out and now live with my dad. I'm working full-time at a pool, being a lifeguard and teaching swim lessons. I'm 20 now, and when I moved in this house, I could tell this house just felt better than the one I was at. The energy felt good. That is, until the other night. While lying in bed, waiting for my boyfriend, I looked out of the bedroom door just before he closed it and saw the little brunette girl again.